So they got several types of crafts, and how they like move and operate. Like they got the ones that are like that I like to really talk about, which operate through sound, which is how a lot of our vehicles, like the high level vehicles that they say extraterrestrials have, operate through sound. And of course, you have some that operate through levels of like oxygen and different air qualities, and they're fueled that way. When I say operate, meaning like how they're actually fueled. But you got different like types of apparatuses and contraptions or whatever that operate, and we've been like examining this as far as like on a unseen level for about like the past, I'd say, 15 years, where like some of them are government controlled, others are extraterrestrial based control, meaning that they really don't know where these apparatuses come from. Like even governments, they find them and do back engineering on them, like if they find parts of them and stuff. And they really don't know where they come from, and then they come around certain people. Then there's some that move like as light, which is very swift that you'll probably never ever see. Because I mean, of course, light travels very swiftly. So you would probably never see those type of apparatuses or whatever. But there's different apparatuses, and like during this time when we go through the summer solstice, this is like a very important time when it comes to being able to actually see them during this time of year or whatever. Like if you want to get into like calling them and seeing them, there's different tones that they respond to for people that are into like music and stuff like that. And you wonder why like a lot of musicians have extraterrestrial type scenarios or like experiences, is because they're tuned in with the pitch of these different apparatus, these different crafts or whatever, through their music or their notes and their ability to tap into certain pitches and tones. Tonation is actually the secret on how to get into calling these crafts or whatever. And then of course there's different words of power that you can use. And people have been blowing my phone up about readings and different things like that. You got to realize now we got different artists working through this same line. So like it's really hard to get a hold of me or whatever. Like, and there's some people you might want to like you watching certain videos and you want a certain reading like that, and I might refer you to a certain artist that may not be available because I may not do those type of readings now. So like that's where we're kind of moving into, and I'm just throwing that in there. But so if you want a reading like this or whatever, like again, you just send a text 513-487-9415. I can give you a reading, or I just suggest you just donate and just look for the information to drop as it comes, because that's how my craft and what I do on my level or whatever. But there's different ones and they respond, and you can get access to them during this time, and they respond and they move through different modes of transportation and ways of mobility. And it's important because we started talking about being on the cutting edge of what's going to happen with technology, finances, careers, and all of that. And based on what's happening, what they're trying to do, when I say they, these the groups that are in, in tune with this higher level technology and know how to operate these crafts, or know that they can move this planet to different realms. And like from my research, this planet has been moved to more of what you would consider like a Saturn type of realm. So you could say that we're on Saturn. You say we're on Earth, but that kind of dissolved in like around like 2021, 2022, and we moved into like the Saturn realm or whatever, which is important when we start talking about these modes of transportation, because eventually this is how we're going to have to like move and operate. We're going to eventually take this leap of getting out of what we're used to today, which is like, even these electric powered cars and all of this stuff. And it's going to get to a point where most of the transportation is going to be by air. And if you're moving on the ground, a lot of that's going to be by foot because of different climate changes and stuff that we're able to view from even just going through this summer solstice ritual. You're able to actually tap into and see the future on these crafts too, because they have like It's like a video to them. And the future to them and the stuff that's happening is control. And they have various ways of controlling it through MK Ultra, sounds, the weather, gang stalking on a primitive level, even getting into higher advanced levels of telepathy and sending out thoughts. They're able to control this, and they're successfully doing this, have been doing this. And during this time, when you start talking about breaking free, even if it's on a financial level, no matter how you want to break free, whether it's on a mental level, a sexual level, financial level, spiritual level, health level, even, got to know this information. It's to a point now where I'm telling people embracing extraterrestrial, so-called extraterrestrial information is going to be the only way to really make it through this quantum leap, because we're now on this planet interfacing with ETs every day and you don't know it. And we'll get into that with the mass technology that they've used, they got from the moon, to just a lot of stuff that they're not teaching us about or whatever, to where, not trying to make people crazy, but you may even think you're talking to that person, but how do you know they haven't been abducted? Because of the technology that I could actually show you that they have and been controlled. You wonder, like, why this person acting funny and that? How do you know what happened to that person when they came back, or when they was at that place and then you saw them again or whatever? Like, you really, every day you deal with the person, it's almost to a point where you got to deal with them like it's, you just met them. I know it sounds wild in a way, but it's like in your mind, depending on your relationship with them. I mean, of course, if you live close to someone that's your loved one, I mean, in that type of scenario, I mean, that's different. But like a husband or spouse, they go to work, come home. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, in a scenario where you got friends that you may only see once or twice a month, and you don't really, associates. Let's just keep it on that level. Never really know. It may sound sci-fi, but you never really know who you're dealing with, the type of technology they have. Like, it's stuff they had on Ghostbusters and those old cartoons where they were able to take the plasma. So you got plasma in you and stuff like that, and they're able to turn that into a skin suit and make that into a so-called person or being. You have that type of ET technology going on. Then you have light beings on the planet and higher guardian angels and stuff like that on the planet too, which is very important. And really, they say to get access to those type of beings, you have to get access to those crafts, like those guardian angels, the higher level beings, whatever. You have to get access to those crafts to see them. So deep information, just getting in tune with your higher